As I serve in youth ministry, one of my goals in life is to help my students figure out the future. And I do this in my teaching. I work it into my schedule every year. One of the things that I do is I challenge them to ask themselves who they want to be when they're 25. A lot of our problems that we face arise because we're not planning, we're not thinking about the future, we're not thinking about who we're becoming. When I was 12 and a half years old, I had a tough conversation. One of the things that I faced is a lot of my friends and family would hit 13 and then the wheels would start to come off the cart. All kinds of problems, rebellions, fights, just things that didn't bring peace into their lives. They brought problems. And at 12 and a half years old, I decided I don't want to go down that same road. So what I did, I asked myself, who do I want to be when I'm 25? I didn't really care, or I cared, but the answer to that question wasn't what kind of car do I want to have, what kind of house do I want to have, do I want to be married, what kind of job do I want to have. The answer to that question for me had everything to do with character. What kind of character do I want to develop by the time I'm 25? I knew that at the age of 12 and a half, I needed to start working on that character at that age to kind of carry me through my teenage years and help me to avoid some pitfalls. And also the side benefit would be to be the person I wanted to be at age 25. I knew if I woke up on my 25th birthday and hadn't been working on these things, I wouldn't be the person I wanted to become by that time. One of the things I knew I needed to do right off the bat when I made that decision is I knew that I needed to completely dedicate my life to Christ and live for Him and try to figure out what that means and how to make it work in my life, even in the secular world I was in. I went to public high school, public junior high, and I'm in school and I'm constantly in contact with people who aren't on that same path. So bottom line, as I teach and hopefully as you teach your students, you're thinking, how am I challenging them to think about who they're going to be in the future, not just how do they live for Christ today. I think if they're on the path toward growing who they want to become, it'll help them a lot to live the life we're trying to lead them toward. It also, I found, helps me in counseling when a student isn't reaching the goals, isn't meeting his mark. I can say, well, have you answered the question, who do you want to be when you're 25? Sometimes the answer is a sheepish no, like a guilty no. They know they haven't been doing what I've been challenging them to. And it helps me in counseling. It helps me to be able to say, well, if you're not going to make wise choices, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. And you're going to end up in situations where you need me to help counsel you out of them. So things to think about. Maybe you can include this in your youth ministry if you're not already.